Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And an interesting question that popped up that is about the discovery of security flaws. And in this case, the question comes from Google Chrome. As you know, there's always a pattern. There's security fixes for Google Chrome, and then we have the security fixes going to Opera or Brave or Edge because they're based on Chromium. And the question is, why doesn't the Microsoft team with Edge discover these flaws, or why isn't Opera discovering these flaws and fixing them? And then how does it? Why is it like that? So here's the thing: is that most security flaws that are found, because there was an update this weekend for Google Chrome, and that update included the 0-day that's already exploited in the wild. So, it's important to update. But most of the flaws that are discovered are not discovered by Google or the Chromium team. Most are discovered by third-party security companies. So it could be, McAfee. There's Chinese manufacturer of antivirus that often finds flaws. There's all sorts of groups that actually work to find flaws, and they work actively and they work hard because Google, like Microsoft, like many companies, pay for you to discover these flaws. So if you discover a good flaw, you could have several $1,000s in reward to as a thank you for discovering a security flaw. So that means there are teams everywhere, including security researchers at a lot of the big companies that actually have antivirus software that work around the clock to find flaws. So the majority of them are discovered by third-party companies, although Google does have its a team which does check for security flaws. Microsoft also has a team working and looking for security flaws with other products too. So everybody's looking, but the majority of them are third party that discover, or they are discovered because somebody just noticed something's wrong, and then they notice, in terms of a 0-day, for example, exploited in the wild, it might be because it was exploited, somebody noticed it. Now, the question, of course, goes to why isn't Edge or Microsoft, fixing it first sometimes? Because there's a pattern. When there's a security flaw in Google Chrome, most of the time, it is through the Chromium engine, because they're all based on Chromium. So who has to fix and who fixes it is Chromium team. The Chromium team is going to fix it. So they're going to push it. And in general, what's going to happen is the Chromium team will push it to Google Chrome, and the other companies like Microsoft with Microsoft Edge or Opera or so on, they will get the fix, but they'll have to implement it themselves because each company has a different style in the browser, and so they will have to test it to make sure that it doesn't break something in each browser. So what's going to happen is Chromium's going to send it to the Chromium team is going to send it to Google Chrome, but it's also going to send it to everybody else, and then it goes with the in a certain order. Often Google Chrome, because it's the most popular browser, the fix is going to be there first, and then so on and so on. Sometimes it's just hours between the difference. Sometimes Google Chrome browser will get a fix, and Opera or Brave or Edge can have it just a couple of hours later. It could be really fast, or it could take several days because they might need to actually test the update to make sure it doesn't break a feature that is in their browser that's not in Google Chrome, for example. So there's always that same pattern going about security flaws, but it's always going to the to the Chromium team, which is an open source project, and they fix the flaw. They send it then with the flaw. They explain what's the flaw and how, what they did and changes to all the browser manufacturers. And the browser manufacturers, like I said, in general, Google will fix Chrome first, really fast. When they get that, they possibly have an early access to all of it, because Google, even if Chromium is an open source, Google is kind of, the father of the Chromium open source project. So they probably have a take that's faster than everybody else at the same time. But the flaw could technically be found by Microsoft security researchers, but they will be sent to Chromium, and the Chromium team will fix, and then it's going to be sent to all different browsers that have Chromium engine in it. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.